The last we spoke was after Gully Boy. And you told me that Ranveer had told you how much Deepika loved your work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that how the film came your way?
I mean, that's a question you should ask her. To be honest, Shakun made me, hear the story, and I remember Karan was there in the narration, and I didn't know who was playing who, and I just heard the story, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. It was so like there was no reference point. I had not seen or heard something like that ever before. So I was like, okay, when I don't know how I'm going to do it, then I am definitely doing it, because that's how I do it. That's it. And then I got to know Deepika is, playing Alicia, and Ananya is playing Tia. And I was like, whoa, okay. Dreams do come true.
I saw the trailer and it looks amazing, but how would you describe the film?
Well, it's very difficult to put this film in a box. Genre, it's a completely different genre. It's a relationship drama. We called it a domestic noir for the longest time, because we actually didn't know how to put it. We got the title, much later, because we didn't know what to call it. It's so new and it's so fresh, and I've never seen something like this ever.
Did you find reflections of your own journey in Zayn?
Not really. I mean, it's different. He's like, initially, like, I did try to, when I was working on the character, I was writing as Zayn, as I had a diary where I used to write as Zayn. I was, we used to exchange notes, Shakun and I. And most of them were rejected. All the notes. He's like, no, it's like, but this is what I feel. So he's like, yeah, and it's not that film. It's a different film. Because I've grown up watching, like, it's a different idea of love in Hindi cinema in Bollywood. We've grown up watching Shah Rukh Khan, and we've grown up watching all these romantic films, and grown up watching just that. So my references, my crafting was always somewhere close to that, and I used to send it to him, and he used to kind of tweak it, and that's how I think I gradually kind of understood his vision. So the idea of a Dharma film, I had to drop it. I had to play it as just the character, and not have any references with all the Bollywood things we've watched, which I am a huge fan of. But we kept, like, doing Zoom calls and exchanging notes, and I realized, oh, glad it didn't happen that time, because there were so many things we came up with in the lockdown. So actually, I would say for this film, we have prepped for a year and a half. Actually, first time we were gonna go with something else. And then when we actually started shooting, we had to do a costume trial, because we changed everything. So we kept, like, playing with ideas, because also what I think Shakun does is he doesn't have a concrete reference. He studies everything, as it goes by day. He was watching a lot of things. He was talking to a lot of friends. He was observing. He's an artist. So he used to keep tweaking things, a little bit. Even on set, when we were there, he used to just say that, maybe play it like that. It was like, we had done it, like, like, no, just forget about it. Just listen to this one. The thing is, I've watched so many Bollywood films. So, every scene I had my own Bollywood take on it. I used to do that scene. I mean, after the scene was done, the way Shakun wanted it, and the way we decided we would do, I would do one in Shah Rukh Sir's thing. I would do one, because I was like, yeah, for me, romance is that. So let me just do it for the heck of it. And used to record that, just for fun. We just kept ourselves entertained, because it's such a serious film. It takes a lot of emotional, it drains you. It completely drains you. So I think it was very important to just keep it fun and light. And I think Shakun did a great job.
This is your first film that had intimate scenes, and there's an intimacy director on board. And I wanted to ask you, how did Dar's presence kind of make things easier for you?
I mean, I think all the credit goes to her, because I was very nervous. I didn't know how I would do it. I remember, like, I was very, very nervous. I called up Shakun, and, just after I signed the film, and when he had this idea, and he was kind of brief, and I was like, oh shit, I just went pale white. I don't know how to, I just couldn't imagine. And he's like, relax, we have an intimacy coordinator. And I was like, what is that now? It's up to the audience when they watch it, they'll understand what we're talking about. But it's definitely very new. And, I think every set which involves intimate scenes, I think there should be an intimacy coordinator to just make everybody feel comfortable.
This film, of course, releases almost exactly 3 years after Gully Boy. It
Yeah.
has been easy to wait.
See, the thing is, the priorities were different. The pandemic, things have changed. People have really suffered, and I just made me sad. So about my film and about, yeah, I mean, I knew that I'm doing a lot of projects, and I was confident. I was content with the work which I had. I knew that I'd be working. There is Phone Booth after this. There is Yudra after this. There's Ho Gaya Hum Kahan after this. So I knew I was fine, but I was just kind of, a little low because of whatever was happening in the country and in the world. The world was suffering, and the priorities were different. I think I just wish this gets done with. This gets over. People, like, the children go to school. They've missed 3 years of their lives. My brother, who's is going to be turning 18, has not seen college yet. Like, he's just he couldn't give his boards, and it's just, I think it's unhealthy in a different way. Mental health, all of these things, I kind of was thinking about and paid attention to, which I was not aware of before this, because we were just running and running in our lives.
When I met you after Gully Boy, you talked about how everything felt very surreal to you.
Yeah.
From the compliments to the fact that you had to do interviews. Does anything still feel surreal, or have you gotten used to it now?
No, it does feel surreal. Film आ रही है मेरी. ये feeling कब जाएगी मुझे पता नहीं, लेकिन हमेशा लगता है कि यार I've just made it. Always feel like that. And I'm still like, I'm very young and I'm very new. And for me, I think it's going to last for some more time before. And I wish that every film is like my first film, and every interview is like my first interview. And I'm as excited to talk about it. Also, one of the most important reasons is why it still feels surreal, because it gives me a validation that I'm doing something right, and I'm living my dreams. And whoever is listening to this, there are so many of actors who want to make it big, and trust me, I have been there and I'm here now. And it just gives me like immense motivation and pleasure to let them know that dreams do come true, and just go for it. And this is the surrealness which I feel when I feel like I need to tell people that it's possible. Don't give up in life.